Well, you're watching HSN, and this whole evening basically has been about, hey, let's have really smart solutions to make our home a cleaner place. Well, you're looking at one of those for sure. And tonight, we're about to hit 2 million of the dock cloths sold on HSN. We are within a couple thousand of that happening. And if you haven't found out what they are, if you've never seen them before, stick around because you're going to see some pretty impressive stuff. What is it normally? This is what we normally rely on, paper towels, over and over and over and over again. And we're talking about thousands of dollars. We're talking about thousands of little trees out there we're kind of tearing down. Imagine if you never, ever had to buy these again. Imagine if you never had to buy a dish towel again because simply you've chosen to switch to dock cloths. And here's what's even more amazing. They're going to clean more effectively and better than the paper towels, than the dishcloths, than even those nasty sponges you have on your sink right now. Here's the scoop. We have the biggest configuration at the lowest price, and it's never been a Today special until today. Now, this only launched about, what, maybe 12 months ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and we've almost sold 2 million of these on the air, so you know it's got to work, right? Well, we have and normally do 20 dock cloths in just this size. I'll show you this size right here. 20 of them, this size, for $39.95, and they do extremely well. We wouldn't have sold so many if they didn't work, right? We have now added 2 new sizes, the minis and the jumbos, and we have 30 of these, not 20 for $39.95, but 30 now for $29.95. Also, today alone, we reduced the shipping and handling, and if that weren't enough, you're gonna get them at home for 15 bucks to try them out. But imagine being able to clean not dirt, but bacteria off any hard surface and get it 99.99% clean, and all you're using is this and tap water. Can you believe it? And then you get the cloths re-cleaned too, because once you rinse it out, it goes back to being super clean. All right, so how does it work? I asked Kerry to rejoin me, of course, because he's here with it. Kerry, glad to have you back.
It's great to be here. Developed in Sushi Kitchens. Hi, everybody. This is the last opportunity to get this. It's 8 layers of wood pulp fiber. We're gonna roll an animation really quick, and then we're gonna show you live how it does exactly what Suzanne says.
So
With
cool.
just tap water, it's gonna remove 99.9% of germs and bacteria and things that can make us very sick, like salmonella and E. coli. The kids are back in school. They're coming back from school with a bunch of nasty stuff. They're going to be touching everything. And developed in Sushi Kitchens because they use a lot of raw food. And when you go ahead and wipe up with tap water, it picks up, it wipes up 99.9% of germs and bacteria. But then when you rinse it out in tap water for about 30 seconds under warm water, it releases 99.9% of germs and bacteria.
Wait, 99.99. You're missing an extra 9
There's
on
an extra
there.
9 in there. And what happens is they come to you like stiff, but when you go ahead and wet them, they become super soft, super absorbent, and that's when the magic happens. And what we're going to do is we're going to dim the lights and show you a bunch of things that we touch on a regular basis.
Right.
For sure. This is what I call my wall of knobs.
And here's what's interesting is they look clean.
They look clean.
Right off the gate,
These
they look very
absolutely clean. Right? Now we're going to dim the lights and take a look at this knob right here. Okay? Look at this. That's just chock full of all kinds of stuff. I'm going to take my dock cloth, right? I'm going to rub this knob, right? And look what happens. It's on the cloth now, and the knob is perfectly clean with tap water. Not with a bunch of chemicals that have all kinds of warning labels on them. You don't have to do that stuff anymore. And then when you rinse it out, it rinses clean. How about this handle right here? Look at this. We're touching this stuff on a daily basis. And look at that. Just with the dock cloth and tap water, it's absolutely clean and pristine. Take a look at this kitchen. Suzanne, we cleaned this kitchen with a sponge.
No, wait, and it looks clean.
Thinking it's clean.
It looks
then
really
you flip
clean.
on the black light, and it's like a crime scene.
Look at that. Now, again, that's with
Wow.
the sponge. And what are you doing with sponges? They harbor all the bacteria,
Absolutely.
all the yucky stuff,
Yep.
and you're just smearing it around.
Smearing it all over the place.
Then you're using it on your baby's crib. I mean, on your baby crib, then you're wiping off the high chair, the baby's toys, the sippy cups, a wine glass. You're just all you're doing is spreading the germs around your kitchen. Well, look what happens. You guys came back after all those germs with just the dock cloth, and cleaned it up.
Everything that the sponge left behind. You know what I do when I travel? I just got back back from a big long trip, I bring one of my dock cloths with me, right, in a Ziploc bag, and I put my suitcase down, then I wash this, and then I go ahead and get to the hotel remote control. Then I get all the doorknobs and all the window sills and in the bathroom, and you guys can do this too. This is the largest configuration we've ever had, and it's your last opportunity to get it. I know that you're going to absolutely love it. People don't like this cloth. They love this cloth.
And enough so that I actually have 2 sets, and I tell everybody about them. And it's funny, when you read the reviews on these, like me, customer after customer say, oh, I've given some away. Like, how often do you give a dishcloth to somebody? Like, you love it so much, you go, here, have my extra one in the kitchen. Or a sponge. Hey, this sponge is so great, I'm going to give you sponges. But with you can read the reviews, they're great. With the dock cloths, you get so many that you actually can share a couple. And it's funny, somebody will come over and you got to try these, because it's really crazy. They start out stiff, but they end up being as soft as those old-fashioned cotton baby diapers, and yet they clean more efficiently than any other kind of cloth out there. Paper towels don't even come close, and you're wasting a ton of money. Sponges, they just harbor all that junk, and it actually grows. That's why when you smell it and you throw it out and it's black, it's all that stuff growing. When you think about your regular dishcloth, it's stained, it looks bad. Yes, it might wipe something off, but it's not getting rid of 99.99% of the crud. Now, how about your face? These are so soft and yet so effective, you actually can take your makeup off. So imagine if you spend a ton of money just buying facial wipes, you know, the little clean air wiping cleaners, or using some type of whatever to get your makeup off. All you now need is the dock cloth. And here's what they did that's so cool. They did the mini size for the first time in this, and the jumbo. Now, if you're interested in colors, I got to kind of tell you where we stand, because you do have your choice of. The brown is the most limited. We have less than 1,000. And as Carrie said, this is your last chance, everybody. The final presentation. I'm telling you, even if you're a hair bit skeptical, I tell you, get these at home and try them. If you're like me, you'll want more and you'll love them. Then we also have the green version. So we have the brown, the green, and then we have the blue down below, and then also we have the red. But you have to remember, this is the first time after selling 1.5 million cloths here at HSN. It's the very first Today Special we've ever done, and it's the last one we'll do all year. And Carrie, we know it. We usually sell 20. Wildly successful at $39.95. You only get 20. Yeah. We have 30 in this pack at $29.95. We do not offer reduced shipping and handling normally, and we don't give 2 flex pays on it. It's all built for this one-day opportunity. Now, you have a ton of mess here. What are we doing next?
Well, first things first, I just want to reacquaint you with the dock cloth. As you mentioned, and it's super important, when you get them home, they look super stiff and a little bit uptight, frankly. And look what happens. They transform instantly with tap water and turn into one of the most miraculous cleaning cloths you have ever experienced. From your makeup to any surface in your home, granite, wood, formica, stainless steel, glass, you name it. It's never going to scratch, and they're rarely, if ever, going to wear out. At the end of the month, throw them in the washing machine. Just don't put them in the dryer, and they will last and last and last. And they will never, ever, ever, ever smell, unlike a sponge. And why does a sponge smell? Because it's a honeycomb filled with germs and bacteria. This looks like a pretty pristine sponge, wouldn't you say, Suzanne?
Sure. Yep.
Right? Okay. Now we're going to dim the lights in the studio, and we're going to take a look and see how clean this sponge actually isn't. Take a look at that. Germs and bacteria are everywhere on both sides because it's like a nest or a hotel, but the germs and bacteria never check out. So we take a sponge like this and we use it on things like a sippy cup. And then we give that sippy cup to the baby. And we take that sponge and we use that sponge on a wine glass and we drink out of it, or we give that wine glass to a loved one. And if you're just joining us, we want to show you this again. It's really super dramatic. We cleaned this kitchen with a sponge. It looks pretty clean, doesn't it?
It looks very clean, actually.
It looks super clean. It isn't. The sponge is merely pushing and smearing and spreading all of those germs and bacteria. We went behind what the sponge left behind. It picked up everything that the sponge couldn't. This thing is just wildly popular on hsn.com. I challenge you for 15 bucks. I know it's hard. Suzanne, we talked about this in the green room. It's hard to try something new, isn't it? This notion that You could possibly get rid of paper towels forever. You could get rid of cleaning chemicals with those warning labels forever and use a cloth and tap water. It's tough to wrap your brain around that, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, when you do, you'll know what everybody else knows, that there's a better, smarter, safer, more affordable way to clean. And it does clean. Suzanne, it cleans everything.
Well, here's
Wood,
what I think
formica,
about
everything.
it. It's so simple. All you're doing is you literally wipe, polish, and scrub with it.
That's it.
I mean, you can really scrub stuff. If you really want to clean something that's difficult to clean, in fact, one of the reviewers, in fact, several of them commented, grease rips right through it.
Gone.
And again, you're only using water. Now, what happens, any other paper towel or cloth that you use, even if it's like a microfiber, which are great, you put grease on it, it's hard to get the grease out.
Right.
Well, this is my first test I did with mine. I did it on grease because I didn't believe it, and then I ran it under just warm tap water, and I watched the grease fall out of the dock cloth.
You see it?
Yeah, it is. It literally just comes out of the cloth, and the cloth is now 99.99% free of dirt and of bacteria. Like, it's amazing. And there's not another system out there that allows you to get to that efficiency in a cloth or in a paper towel.
No, there isn't. It's the dock cloth, developed in sushi kitchens over decades. This is the 21st century. There's a better way to clean. We cut one open for you so you could see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those 8 layers woven together create a net. That net with tap water wipes up 99.9% of dirt and bacteria. And we're talking serious stuff here. We spend thousands of dollars in independent laboratory testing. It picks up salmonella. It picks up E. coli. These are the things that can make us all very, very sick. But then when you rinse it out, warm water for 30 seconds, the cloth is tested, it rinses 99.9999% free of all of that bad stuff. So it cleans everything, and it's better, it's safer, it's healthier, and much more affordable way to clean.
And a lot of people say, is it absorbent? Because we want that too. Like, we want this cloth to do it all, and it really does, quite frankly.
Yeah, okay, paper towel comparison, right? As you mentioned, we're cutting down trees, we're throwing these paper towels everywhere. Here's a paper towel about the size of a dock cloth. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in an equal amount of liquid, and this is just isn't even a fair fight. I mean, paper towels are so flimsy. We probably would have used 4, 5, 6 paper towels to do that. You take one dock cloth, super thirsty, super absorbent, and watch what happens. It just soaks all of it up, just like those paper towel commercials we used to see when we were kids. Not even a contest, and I'll hold this up over my head just to show you how absorbent this is and how much I trust it live on television. But the other part of it is, when you rinse it out once again, it will never smell ever because it rinses free.
But watch what he's doing, you guys. Yeah. If I took the sponge and did the same thing, no, that's not going to work. No. If I took this paper towel and started to do this, it might get some of the color or the stuff out, but obviously the paper towel's deteriorating and falling apart. Look what happens, and this happens time and time and time again. I tell you, I probably got my first set of dock cloths, I would say probably a year ago, right?
Yep.
The first set's still going strong. Like, that's the, I guess for you guys, that's the worst thing. They don't wear out.
No.
It takes forever. And I throw them in the washer. I don't baby them. I use them on every surface you can imagine. You'll read the comments. They don't leave lint behind. So if you're doing your glass,
exactly.
If you're doing your stainless steel, it's beautiful on that. Indoor, outdoor, tough stuff, grease, gunk, the salmonella stuff, you know, all the stuff we have in our kitchen, all the gross stuff in your bathroom, it's going to clean it up beautifully, and you'll never use chemicals. And then I think what sets it so far apart from the rest is it literally rinses itself back to almost perfection.
That's it.
Like,
that's the thing.
And that's why you won't see, they'll never stink. And that's what's really cool.
Yeah,
you can have stuff in there and you're using it and using it and you go, gosh, it never ends up gaining a scent. It's because it doesn't hold on to the stuff that's growing in your sponge and growing in your dishcloths. Remember, you'll never buy another paper towel. In fact, when I switched to dock cloths, I had to retrain my husband. He's a germaphobe. He really is. He's kind of a germ guy. And he said, I said, Craig, anytime you grab a paper towel, stop what you're doing and please use a dock cloth. And he still has a tough time believing that it's really working until you don't see the gross, stuff growing or the smell. So this is a thing from the past. Even your dishcloths are a thing from the past. Imagine, you'll never go out and buy these again. And we have reduced our consumption of paper towels dramatically simply because, and I know it's because of the dock cloth. Yeah,
I looked at my budget before I started using the dock cloth. I spent about $150 a year on paper towels. Over the course of 10 years, that's $1,500 that you're not spending. And once again, in places that are really important to us. Look, let's face it, this is a baby's office, right?
Sure.
There's no plate involved because the food is going right on on top of the high chair tray. Are you going to spray chemicals around here and put your grandchild or bleach or chlorine? No, you're not. You're going to take your dog cloth, you're just going to wet it, and no big deal. Whatever it is, it's going to come up with the dog cloth. And you know what you got for that? Peace of mind. You know how much peace of mind costs? It's priceless. We're talking about our loved ones, our cats, you know, our dogs. We buy, you know, we have kids, and what the first thing we do is put locks on the cabinets underneath the sink.
Let's try to keep them out of the chemicals.
Well, how about let's just get the stuff out of the cabinets. Let them crawl around in there. Let them have fun. Right. It's crazy. We do this stuff because we've been doing it for years. Mom did it. Grandma did it. The Binky, right? I'm a very proud uncle.
Good point.
I mean,
do you know there are moms who buy Binky wipes?
Binky wipes.
Why are you spending money on Binky wipes?
And Binky wipes have chemicals in them.
That's true. Let's say hi to Sherry in Maryland. Sherry, welcome. You're on HSN with Carrie and Suzanne.
Hi.
Hi. Now, I understand you own them, and you're coming back for more.
Absolutely. I've had them, I got my first set, I think, about 6 months ago, and I bought 2 sets, and I've given them almost all away.
Isn't that funny? Because I share mine, too. I go, you've got to try these. Sure. They're brilliant.
Yeah, I started with my sister, and then it went to a couple of friends, and they love them, and they had me order some more for them the last time you were on. This time, this set is mine. I'm keeping them.
Good girl. Don't you get, and you get 30 of them, so you're getting more than you've ever had.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they work on every surface. They clean so beautifully, and the rinse, you know, until you can see it on TV, but until you've actually used them and you run them under the cold water and see the stuff come out of them, you don't really believe it. But once you've used them, you won't go back to anything else.
Isn't that, it's so true. And I mean, it really is surprising. Because I did the same thing, Sherry. I actually went to the greasiest thing in my kitchen, and that's the first thing I cleaned with them. And when I put them under the water, I thought, there is no way that grease is going to fall out. And it really did.
Yeah, the grease is a good thing to clean. I use mine on my outdoor. I have an electric outdoor barbecue.
Oh, okay.
And when I take the heating element out, I use them to wipe that down. But the first thing I cleaned was some of that plastic lawn furniture.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that gets white, and you have to power wash it usually.
Right.
I just used one cloth, and I cleaned it all. I came in, I kept rinsing it out. I threw it in the washer. And the next day, I was cleaning the stuff up around my cat bowls on the kitchen floor.
With the same one?
The same one, yeah. And then I washed it again, and it's still going strong.
On your first, well, what you have left of your first set.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what I have left of my first set. I think out of the first 20 I got, I have 5 of the original set left.
And don't you love how super soft they are once you wash them?
Oh, absolutely.
Like they don't dry back to the hard.
I took a bunch to my office. I have a kitchen in my office because I work long hours, so I fix myself lunch. And I like to make sure that it's clean because I don't have a big kitchen area, so, you know, keeping the cleanliness up in it is a little bit difficult when you're trying to prepare meals for a couple of people. And, you know, it just... I can't say enough about them. I garden there because I don't have time to do it at home. I clean my garden tools with them.
Awesome.
I can't enumerate the things that I've cleaned with them.
I clean my golf clubs with them.
On my truck.
Well, it's like anything you used to use paper towels or any other cloth for, you just use these now, right?
That's it.
Absolutely.
Right,
yes.
exactly.
I've
Well,
done
Sherry,
away with
thank
paper
you.
towels completely.
Well, isn't that, there you go.
Yeah.
Sherry, thank you. She's gotten rid of her paper towels completely. I mean, just if you get them for the paper towel jobs and you don't buy another paper towel, imagine all the money you're going to save. Now, I know you're sitting there, and Sherry, thank you, because that was brilliant, but you're going, no way. What a neat idea. How come I haven't heard about it before? It's the secret of the sushi industry for years and years and years. That's where it was invented. You've got it available today. Now, here's the story. Once again, as we look at the colors, remember, we have sold, and this is what Sherry bought twice, we have sold a set of 20 for $39.95. That's
all day long.
And you don't have reduced shipping, you don't have the flex pay and all that good stuff. We actually are now selling 30 of these in this configuration for $10 less than we do normally 20. We have sold now 28,000 today.
Whoa.
This is your last and final chance at it, so do not miss out on this. You will not have another opportunity for the rest of the entire year. That's really, you got to understand, we'll bring these back because they're crazy successful, but you'll never have a chance at this value in this combination. So why not try it? And here's the best part. You know, if you bought paper towels from a store and you tried to take a half a roll back, they'd be like, you'd never do it. They're like, I'm not taking a paper towel roll back. You've got to be kidding me. We still have our 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. You'll know within the first use of it whether you love them or not, but you'll probably be like our customer reviews. This is a whopping multi-5-star customer review, hundreds of reviews really raving about how awesome they are. The money savings, the time savings, the multi-purpose use of them,
yes.
And the fact that they go back to almost pristine just by rinsing them underwater is just shocking to me. It really is. Let me show you 2 reviews because there's a ton of them, but I want to show you 2 real quick, and then Carrie's going to show us some more black light stuff because we love seeing the goop go away.
Exactly.
All right, here it is. This is Bud and Bella in Massachusetts. These are the best washcloths. They don't smell or get slimy or discolor. I've purchased quite a few things on HSN, but this is my favorite purchase so far. Okay, that's huge,
yeah,
all right?
And
let's look at another one. I love these, and we'll never buy another dishcloth. They rinse out right without a stain. Don't ever drop this brand from your line of products.
Wow,
I mean,
that's really cool.
It's huge.
Thank you.
And for $15, why not? Okay, so here's the scoop. Last and final airing, last and final chance when we hit midnight. I know Callie has the hottest Vince Camuto boots coming up. I'm so excited about it. I'm getting a pair of those too. I love what you're going to see at midnight.
Sure.
But this is your final chance to be able to grab your color, grab the best deal we'll do for the rest of the year. All right, what do you want to show next?
I want to walk you right back through what you get and how it's going to be different when you get it. Okay, this is how we ship it. For that reason, we make sure that it's nice and stiff and flat. The second you get it wet, it transforms right there in front of your eyes into the most miraculous cleaning cloth you have ever seen. It removes your makeup. You can use it on any surface in your home. In independent laboratory testing, it removes 99.9% of germs and bacteria. Super absorbent, super, just versatile. And the reason is, and I want to show you this real quick, and we'll roll this animation, it's because of this, as you said, it's developed in sushi kitchens. There are 8 individual layers of wood pulp fiber. That creates a net, if you will. When you add water to it, it picks up dirt and bacteria. And we're talking serious stuff, folks. We're talking salmonella, E. coli, staph, you name it. The kids just went back to school. We all know what they're coming back from school with. This is a better way to clean. Smarter, safer, more affordable. You don't have to use chemicals. You don't have to use paper towels. This is a revolution, a game changer in the way we clean.
All right, now almost 5,000 sold in just a couple of minutes, but we're going to say hi to Sholanda joining us from the great state of Michigan. Hi, you're on with Carrie and Suzanne, and welcome, Sholanda.
Hi, how are you?
We're good, but more importantly, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm really excited about this. We just came home,
okay,
me and my boys, and of course I turn on HSN every day.
We love that, thank you.
And I saw the black light,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my gosh, that is a very scary thought.
Yes,
To
indeed.
think that you think that you're cleaning, but you're really not.
Yeah.
You're just transferring it everywhere. And the reason why it just was, I had to buy it because I have a son who has extremely severe asthma. Puts him in the hospital all the time.
Aww.
And he goes to school, comes home with stuff. Goes outside, comes in with stuff.
Yeah.
And just to know that these cloths will help me to erase everything and give him a better chance to be in a cleaner environment in the home, that is fantastic to me.
Well, and you know, he's probably
couldn't resist
sensitive,
it.
and he's probably really sensitive to chemicals.
He is, and trying to find things, and you're at the store looking on the shelf for hours trying to read the ingredients to make sure that he won't have a reaction to it. And just to see the dirt just disappear, just go right down the drain, that makes me feel so good to know that now when I actually clean, I know it's gone.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I know he won't have a chance to come back and touch it and be by it, and then it won't flare his asthma up and trigger something. I'm excited. I cannot wait till they come.
Well, you know what? Do us a favor. When Carrie's back, will you let us know how they worked out for you?
Yeah.
Because obviously you're working under a very difficult circumstance with your son's condition. So please let us know if you're happy with them once you get him at home, okay?
Absolutely. I'm going to get my mom in on it, too, because every time I order something from HSN, I go, come on, Mom, try this out with me. And she's gung-ho. So we're going to take some to Grandma and Granddad's house. have them use them there.
Well, and you're getting 30, so you're getting a whole lot when you get these at home, Shalonda. So thank you.
Thanks,
and
Shalonda.
again, you know, that is the thing. It's like all these paper towels,
gone.
Thing of the past.
Right.
If you're talking about sponges, those are now gone. How about just dirty old dishcloths? Gone. And in Shalonda's situation, all of these nasty chemicals, they're now gone. These are going to return back to almost perfect every time you use them. And trust me, I'm still a year later using my original set. And I don't baby them. I throw them in the washer, let them out to dry, and I use them again and again. I don't baby them at all. So they're good. One set's going to last you a long time, but I highly recommend stock up. A couple of colors, maybe you give them away. Trust me, you will crack up. You will want people to try these because at first you go, these are so weird. Like they're hard.
Yeah, they're so hard, and then you get them
and
wet.
And then you start using them. You're like, these are amazing.
This light bulb goes off. And it was funny, the earlier caller said she shares them. That's the phenomenon. They're not fans, they're fanatics.
Have you ever shared a paper towel roll with anybody?
No. Hey, here's some blue stuff. Here's some orange stuff. You got to try. Here's some sponges.
Here's a sponge. I want to share this dirty sponge with you.
My sister has passed them out to the cul-de-sac.
Right.
I go to visit her, and they come at me. Where are the dock cloths?
Sure.
We need more dock cloths. And I said, we're going to have a big TS coming up. Once again, for those of you just joining us, thanks so much for being a part of this, and thank you so much for your calls. It's 8 layers of a wood pulp fiber developed over decades in sushi kitchens that wipes up in independent laboratory testing things like salmonella, bacteria, E. coli, staph, things that can make us very, very sick. But then the kicker is when you rinse them in warm water for 30 seconds, it releases. It rinses 99.99% free of all that stuff. And once again, they're pristine. Here's a tip. One of the things I do when I travel, you take the makeup size or the travel size, I put them in a little plastic bag, put them in your diaper bag, bring them to work, take them with you when you travel. I take them with my travel. I get into the hotel, I put my suitcase on the bed, I take out my dock cloth, I wet it, and then I clean the remote. I clean the phone. I clean the doorknobs. I clean the sliding glass door handle, and I'll even go over sections of the bathroom. Then I unpack, and then I relax. Here's a really good example of just the things that we touch on a regular basis. The kids went back to school this week. They're coming back to school with a bunch of stuff for sure. Here's a couple of things that we're touching. Doorknobs, handles, light switches, you bet. Take a look at this knob, right? If you don't see the black light, you don't see that it's chock full of all kinds of nasty stuff. But when we take a dock cloth with just water over it and we pick it up, guess where it all went? It's on the dock cloth, and then you rinse it out. How about this handle right here? Same thing. With the dock cloth and water, it takes away all the bad stuff. It's now on the cloth, and now the handle is completely pristine. Look at how nasty that light switch can be.
Really.
Right, absolutely. And when you go ahead and you scrub it with the dock cloth, everything is now on the dock cloth and not on the light switch. Once again, we'll roll a videotape of a kitchen we cleaned with a sponge, and we were certain when we looked at it, we looked at this videotape, we looked at this kitchen, we thought it was clean, but then we flipped on the black light and we saw the truth. And the truth was we had just basically pushed and smeared and, messed all the kitchen up. But we went behind the sponge with the dock cloth, and it picked up everything, Suzanne, that the sponge left behind. And when you rinse that stuff out, it all goes where it belongs, down the drain.
Yeah, and the neat thing about it is, imagine just not having to use paper towels anymore. I had to retrain my poor husband, Craig. He's so used to we were eating through rolls and rolls and rolls of paper towels because he's a bit of a germaphobe.
Sure.
And he was using because he thought, oh, they're fresh, they're clean. No, I said, honey, anytime you think about reaching for a paper towel, just grab a dock cloth. And it has dramatically reduced the amount of money we're just spending on paper towels. Sponges, thing of the past in our house. You never have a stinky sponge that you have to throw out anymore because you've got the dock cloths. I do want to run the colors because we're about to wrap this up, but you have to remember, this is it. It is our final presentation. We have, an hour to go before this day's done. You have to order this before midnight tonight because the price goes up and you lose the whole deal. Before, we've done 20 for $39.95. We're now doing 30 of the cloths for $29.95. We've reduced the shipping and handling for today only. We have 2 flex pays for today only, and I just want to show you the colors real quick. You still have your choice, although the brown's really limited, but this is the brown and tan. Oh, the brown's gone? Oh, okay.
Congratulations.
Ignore the brown. The brown's not even there. So you've got your choice of the green. We have choice of the blue. We have choice of the red. So green, blue, and red are your choices. Everything, the price, the config, the flex, the reduced shipping and handling ends in 1 hour, but you have a full hour to grab them before that all changes. So even though I've got to say goodbye to Mr. Carey, and I got to say goodbye to you temporarily, and we're going to great fashions, you can stay on the line up until midnight and make sure to reserve, and do get them. Yeah. And Matt, my producer, if you haven't ordered them yet, daggone, I'm going to walk in there and I'm going to tell you to get
them. And if you get 2 sets, right, you get the reduced shipping, right? We
have reduced shipping anyway, so it's awesome on that too. So here we go. Callie's up next. I'll be back at 11 with Vince Camuto and kicking off Tony and Bison. So I'll see you then.